Presidential candidate and Manila Mayor Isko Moreno hits presidential race frontrunner Ferdinand Marcos Jr. as the dictator's son decides to skip the upcoming debate organized by the Commission on Elections or Comelec.
I do believe in pagkakaisa. Pero ang salitang pagkakaisa hindi makakaresolba ng gutom ng tao. Kapag wala nang masasaing ang tao, hindi mo kayang isaing ang pagkakaisa. Pag wala nang ulam ang tao, hindi mo maiuulam yung pagkakaisa.
Moreno says this campaigning in Cabangcalan City in Negros Occidental without mentioning Marcos by name. Moreno also adds what he as a voter thinks of a presidential bet who refuses to join debates.
Kung ako botante, hindi kita iboboto. Tapos pag may mga kaso ka pa, no? Tapos napatunayang may sala ka. O kailangan patunayan mo, nagbagong buhay ka na ba?
Moreno's party Acción Democrático demands that the Marcos family pay the 203 billion pesos worth of estate tax deficiency to the government. Both the Presidential Commission on Good Government and Bureau of Internal Revenue confirm the funds have yet to be paid. The Marcos camp earlier said the non-payment is supposedly due to an agreement between the family and government not to collect the money yet due to legal issues. But the BIR also tells Acción Democrático the Bureau sent a written demand to the Marcos heirs last December 2, 2021 about those tax liabilities. Presidential bet ex-Senator Ferdinand Bongbong Marcos Jr. and his running mate Davao Mayor Sara Duterte scores big in Tawi-Tawi province as the governor and all the province's town mayors declare their support for the tandem. The Tawi-Tawi One Party or top of Governor Esmael Mang Sali adopts Marcos and Duterte. All of the province's mayors signed TOP's resolutions unanimously. In Zamboanga, the group of an old ally of the Marcoses reiterates its support for the Uniteam tandem as well. This despite Zamboanga City being perceived as a pink country. Meanwhile, Samar Governor Reynolds Michael Tan pledges 101% support for the Marcos-Duterte tandem.
In our province, 101% yung suporta namin kay BBM Sara tandem. Lampas na siya kasi hanggang Manila na kami.
Tan promises a win margin of at least 100,000 for the Uniteam duo. He adds 19 out of 21 mayors in the province are also backing Duterte and Marcos. Marcos Jr. lost to Robredo in Samar by a slim margin in the 2016 vice presidential elections, with less than a 5,000 difference in votes. In related news, Nueva Ecija Governor Aurelio Oyi Umali says the envelopes of 500 peso bills given to rally attendees last Tuesday, March 15, were ayuda or financial aid. He says the distribution has long been scheduled and cannot be cancelled just because presidential candidate Ferdinand Bongbong Marcos Jr. was visiting. News cameras caught the distribution of envelopes inside Umali's residential compound after candidates both of Uniteam and the local slate visited the area.
Need more context, clarity, and perspective? Get the full picture with Rappler Plus. With exclusive content and events, you'll get an opportunity to discuss issues with reporters, experts, and featured guests while helping Rappler continue its fearless journalism. Join now.
Candidates, political parties, and groups mounting campaign activities in areas under Alert Levels 1 and 2 no longer need to secure a campaign permit from the Commission on Elections or Comelec. Comelec Commissioner George Garcia says the change is part of the Commission's recalibrated written New Normal campaign guidelines. The move comes weeks after a regional trial court or RTC in Baguio orders the Comelec to suspend the enforcement of Comelec Resolution number 10732, which enforces strict COVID-compliant campaigning guidelines. The RTC case was filed by supporters of presidential aspirant Vice President Leni Robredo. In areas under Alert Level 1, candidates and parties are now allowed to fill the venue to 100% capacity. For areas under Alert Level 2, the cap is raised from 50% to 70% of the venue's capacity. This cap on rally attendees has been observed more in the breach. European ambassadors in the Philippines slammed the blatant untruths and disinformation on Russia's invasion of Ukraine in an opinion piece written by Russian ambassador to the Philippines, Marat Pavlov. The article, published in Philstar.com, has since been taken down. Pavlov says most reports seen on Philippine media regarding fighting in Ukraine are fake news. He also repeats Russia's line that a special military operation was being carried out in Ukraine. British Ambassador to the Philippines Laure Bouffill on Twitter says, shocking op-ed in this morning's Philstar News, upsetting to see these lies in print. She adds, let's be clear, Russia invaded a sovereign state. It is committing war crimes and shows complete disregard for international law and civilian life. European Union Ambassador to the Philippines Luc Veron says, the plain truth is that Russia has invaded Ukraine and is attacking its population. Russia disregards sovereignty and territory. Philstar.com took down Pavlov's opinion from their site on Thursday morning, March 17, saying, Philstar.com has removed this piece, which originally appeared on the Philippine Star's diplomatic pouch column. Although belonging to the same media group, Philstar.com and the Philippine Star are run by different editorial teams. Karolina Bielawska of Poland is Miss World 2021 at the pageant's finals night held in San Juan, Puerto Rico on Wednesday, March 16, Thursday morning, March 17 in Manila. She bests 96 other candidates from around the world to be Poland's second representative to win the title. Sri Saini of USA is first runner-up. Olivia Yasse of Côte d'Ivoire is second runner-up. Philippine bet Tracy Maureen Perez ends her run with a top 13 placement. Before the pageant night, the 28-year-old secured a spot in the pageant's top 30. Tracy's top 13 finish is the Philippines' highest since 2016, when Catriona Gray made it to the top 5. Megan Young, who was crowned in 2013, remains the only Filipina to win the Miss World title.